Okay, look at this paper in your notebook. We're going to do the left-hand side together, and you're going to do the right-hand side on your own. Okay, so it tells you the x and y values, and we're going to find the slope, the y-intercept. This should say b equals, not y equals, so go through and change all of those. Anywhere it says y equals, it should say b equals. Okay, and then we're going to find the slope, the y-intercept, and the equation. Remember, your equation is y equals mx plus b. One more time, we've gone over this a million times. Slope is the change in y, so 6 to 8 is 2, 8 to 10 is 2, 10 to 12 is 2, over the change in x, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So 2 over 1, which is 2. So my slope is 2. Y equals 2x, and then I'm looking for my y-intercept. Remember, we talked about the y-intercept is where the x is 0. So in this case, 10. So y equals 2x plus 10 will be my equation. Okay, let's look at number 2. Number 2 has a change in y of 3 and a change in x of 1. Okay, so that's 3 over 1, which simplifies to 3. And then pay very close attention. Don't just look for a 0 and write down the other number, because this has a 0, but that's where y is 0, which is your x-intercept. We don't want that. We want where your x is 0, which is your y-intercept. So we're looking at this right here. So it's going to be 9. So my equation would be y equals 3x plus 9. Okay, let's look at the next one, number 3. This one, we are given the equation, and we have to fill out the table and the process and the y values, and then give the slope and the y-intercept. So we want to pick a few points, so let's just say 0 so that we get our y-intercept, and let's just do 2, 4, and 6 and see what happens. My process is negative x plus 5. So negative 0 plus 5. You can't have a negative 0, so it's just plus 5. Negative 2 plus 5 gives me 3. Negative 4 plus 5 gives me 1, and negative 6 plus 5 gives me negative 1. I still need to look for my change in y over change in x, just to confirm. So change in y from 5 to 3 is negative 2, and from 0 to 2 is positive 2. Negative 2 over positive 2 gives me a negative 1. Where else could I have found that? The slope is the coefficient of the variable, right? The coefficient of x is your slope. Your y-intercept is where x is 0, the y-intercept is 5. Where else could I have found that? Right here. The constant of the equation is your y-intercept. So let's go that route with it on number 4. Let's start with the slope and the y-intercept from the equation and then get the graph. So the slope is the coefficient of x, so that's 20. The y-intercept is the constant, so that's 60. But I still need you to plug in some numbers over here. I don't know, it's an even kind of day for me. I just like even numbers today. So my process is 20x plus 60. So I'm going to say 20 times 0 plus 60. I'm getting my process from the equation itself. 20 times 0 is 0 plus 60 is 60. That confirms my y-intercept is 60. 20 times 2 is 40 plus 60 gives me 100. 20 times 4 is 80. Plus 60 is going to give me 140, and then 20 times 6 is 120, plus 60 is 180. And you can see we're increasing by 40 as we increase by 2, and 40 divided by 2 is 20. All right, so now you have one of each kind to do on the right-hand side. You're going to fill out the slope and the y-intercept and write your equation, and then using your equation, you're going to do the table and give me the slope and the y-intercept.